Hey everyone, I'm the Star Trek guy and we have another episode review.
I'm Kat.
And today we have a special guest star, my wife, Katya.
Hello.
As you can tell from the episode title, we are going to review Season 3, Episode 1 of the original series, Spock's Brain.
Or episode 61 of the entire series.
Original air date, September 20th, 1968.
So the main story of this episode was an intruder beams down on the Enterprise and knocks everybody out, knocks the entire crew out, and then just swipes Spock's brain. I don't know what to say about that. You just might now. So they stole his brain, and then they have to go down to the planet, and McCoy's like, you only have 24 hours to find his brain, otherwise he's dead. And we're like, oh, okay. So 24 hours to find the brain and then return it back to Spock's body, which is really difficult.
So now let's talk about the likes. Katya, why don't you kick this one off?
Okay. So, it was a little bit difficult to find things to like about this episode because, well, you know, you've seen it, I'm sure. However, I have to say, I found the costuming very whimsical. The colors were nice. It was very reflective of 1968, which I find very makes me very happy because I really enjoy mid-century things. Are you making fun of me? Yes.
Ooh, mid-century.
Ooh, mid-century!
I don't make fun of you guys for the things you like. I also felt that Leonard Nimoy had some pretty good acting in this particular show. He was very flat most of the episode, which is what the character called for, being that he didn't have a brain. Kat, what did you like?
Nothing. Except the musical scores, but those are in every episode because they recycle all the musical scores. So I didn't really have a main like of the episode. It was different. It gets the special sticker. Special.
And what about you?
Well, you know, even though it's a negative, I think it's also a positive. Kind of how absolutely crazy this story is. Like, there's just something kind of fascinating about it.
Excellent.
Like, even though everyone read the script and probably thought, what the heck is this? They said, you know what, we're doing it anyway. And they did.
Probably changed the script like 5 times. That sounds about right.
Yes, perhaps the original script was not quite so crazy or cheesy.
Which, it doesn't make sense because the writer of this episode was a very good writer. He wrote a whole bunch of good things.
Space Seed, wasn't that one of them?
Space Seed is one of them.
Space Seed, the episode that introduced Khan.
Excellent episode.
That person wrote this episode.
Such as Devil in the Dark and Errand of Mercy. He also helped write Spectre of the Gun, Wink of an Eye, and Let That Be Your Last Battlefield. So some great, and then this flop
monstrosity.
This
it's the special
coming from the guy who brought us Khan.
Perhaps he was just trying to be fun and trying to come up with a new concept, but it just didn't quite work.
It's very interesting that they chose this story to kick off Season 3.
This is Season 3. Let's do something really random.
Let's set the tone here.
Which the network didn't even want to keep them for a Season 3, and then that's what they presented with? I'm surprised that they didn't just cancel it right then. But they managed a few more episodes before they got kicked off the air.
A whole season worth.
Yeah.
Which these days is like 10 to 13 episodes, but back then it was 24 or 26. Kat, why don't you kick us off again?
Okay, so the dislikes, just the overall execution of the episode. Like, I bet the original storyline, as we were saying before, was probably really nice and really clean, and then this, like, when they're, like, acting it out and living it and stuff, we're just like, oh gosh, it's a train wreck. But you know what, we're just gonna keep on going with it.
I particularly disliked Mr. Shatner's acting in this episode. I'm sorry, Bill, I really am, but there is such a thing as overacting, and that's what occurred in this episode. What?
There's never too much overacting.
Oh, yes.
I just enjoy enjoy looking at him just like rolling over 5 times before he faints. Like, I enjoy that.
Yeah, the rolling around on the floor was was particularly painful for me. I mean, Dr. McCoy, he just sort of fell with some grace, and it was obvious he was in pain, but he wasn't rolling around.
Same
I mean,
for
come on, Bill, man up a little. Anyways. And then the plot was, well...
a train wreck.
Yes, Kat mentioned it, but the plot was quite a train wreck. Although, being that it was a train wreck, you almost couldn't look away. It was funny.
It was so colorful. It's just like,
yes, shiny things.
shiny.
So we've basically covered it, but overall it just was not a good story.
It didn't have a relative plot. Like, they gave you like 24 hours, but they didn't stick to the time frame that they gave you, or they didn't like give you time segments either. They kind of said, oh, it's 24 hours in 20 minutes.
Well, and the ridiculousness that they even thought that they could power their city with Spock's brain for 1,000 years was... It was just really outside the realm of anything remotely possible, even for the craziest thinking at that point.
Even though the story wasn't good, I think, what am I trying to say here? That because the story was such a train wreck, and it was bad, and I do kind of feel like maybe maybe they did the best they could with the story. Anyway, the episode I don't think is complete garbage. I think there is some entertainment value to be had here.
It's just the humor of it was interesting. Like,
I think like what we were talking about earlier, you have to think about it and look at it through 1968 eyes. And really think about what people found entertaining in the movies and shows that were on at that time. And if you consider it in that perspective, it's entertaining, for sure.
So are we ready to rate?
Yep.
I'm going to give this one 5 out of 10. There are episodes I think that are way worse, but because this one has some entertainment value, I'm going to go halfway. Give it the 5.
I'm going to agree with that rating.
I think I'm going to give it a 4, just because it's so ridiculous. But it does have entertainment value, and I would watch it again.
Besides the point, a small note, we got the comment section working now, so there's that for y'all.
Oh yeah. So the 2 or 3 people who watch these, leave us some comments.
We'll try to talk to you, I guess.
Talk about the episode, talk about our reviews, talk about us.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, and make sure to comment down below and also leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you can know when we update and get our next video out.
Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the Star Trek Guy, and if you want to follow Katya, at Star Trek Chick.
We post art on there on Star Trek Guy specifically.
I'll try. I haven't been doing very good, but I'll try to get more stuff out there. And some of her artwork. Right, Kat?
Yes.
That's right.
We're doing Star Trek portraits, so also don't tell me which one I should do next. I've done Jonathan Frakes and I've done Patrick Stewart.
I think Brent Spiner is next.
Brent Spiner, you think? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're doing Brent Spiner next, so we're gonna have a rad time drawing that. We're watching a Brent Spiner oriented episode.
Alright.